team across the boys, and our Adelaide is rolling along. We will fight, we have heart, we're united from the start, and our Adelaide is rolling along. Let the nation see our best artillery. Shout out our numbers loud and strong. For wherever you go, you will always know that United is rolling along.
Hello and welcome to Always United, which is a Adelaide United podcast. Funny that. Anyway, with me tonight, so I'm your host Hilario, and with me tonight is Aaron.
Hello, people.
Jason.
Hello.
Matthew.
Hello.
And Connie.
Hello there.
Like I said, and I'm your host Hilario. So yes, I guess this is the first. So let's get into it. Do we want to give a little bit intro about ourselves? Like nothing too major. I mean, I don't need your life story, but just a quick little background.
Yes. Oh, man, there's a bit of background noise there.
Yeah. There is. I was going to say whoever's making that noise, but anyway. We'll start off with Aaron. Off you go, mate.
I was a co-founder of the Red Army back in the early days, along with old Alex Milicevic. Been around the whole time. Missed a few games at the start of this season being overseas. But apart from that, I haven't missed a home game for a long time.
Okay, thank you. Matt?
Yeah, I'm a Adelaide United fan from the start. When Adelaide United started, I followed the Adelaide team prior to that, just for the last year before that. Never really grew up with the game. Probably more an AFL fan. But I think I fell in love with it when I went to London in '98. And I just love the sport. I have a little bit of a love-hate, which is some of the things of just some of the Europeans and some of the other players that drop at the slightest little touch of the ankles. They're kind of getting used to the foreignness of the game, but just love the game. It's a engrossing, passionate sport. So I love it, and I'm really pumped about this show, guys.
Okay, thank you. Jason?
Good. Well, yeah, I've been going to Adelaide games since 2007. Been behind the goals of the Red Army pretty much from ever that point.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously, if anyone hasn't realised, Jason's an import to the country. That's why he's late to the. That's why he's late to supporting the team. Connie.
Yes, I'm a bit of a country ring-in, originally from Port Pirie, but I've been travelling kilometre after kilometre for the last 10 years to watch the Reds, and I've only been in the Red Army for the past 4.5 years, but yeah, I used to sit on the eastern side there with my family, and now I'm a lunatic behind the goals.
Awesome.
And me, obviously, Hilario. So I am one of the old school Adelaide City boys as well. So I used to follow them back in the old NSL. Been at Adelaide United since day dot. First game, that day in 2003 in October. Been to a truckload of home and away games. Sadly, not seen many away wins, but we've had a few.
Can I just say, if you cry when Victory beat you 6-0 in a grand final, and you just literally grown man tearing up, can you be considered a real true Red fan? Because that's what happened to me, and I got bothered for days and days, almost a few weeks, and it just really just made me love the team more. Fucking hate every other team. So first fuck. Oh,
well,
sorry.
Yeah, it wasn't one of us, which is I was expecting. But anyway, yeah. So
that's what makes you. That's what I'm saying about the passion. So
yeah, as you can imagine, I most certainly did bawl my eyes out. I mean, I was front and centre for that game against Melbourne. It was that lovable bloody grand final, which I never want to hear or see again. And otherwise, I mean, I was the head of the Red Army for 4 or 5 years, heavily involved in it, and then I hightailed it and moved behind enemy lines. So I now live over in Melbourne, believe it or not. But yep, still heavily involved in the Reds. I mean, I've still been to seven games this season, 5 of those back in Adelaide. So yeah,
well done.
That's us done. So Speaking of a game that I was at, and I think all of us were at last Saturday afternoon, Adelaide United placed Brisbane Raw at High Stadium, or Coopers, or whatever else you want to call the joint. It's High Marsh to me. Anyway.
It's High Marsh.
Yeah, I know, it's High Marsh. And safe to say, we put the sword to them and took care of them 3-0. I mean, I think
I think they're there for the taking, you know. And we delivered, and it's not often we can say that as Adelaide fans, for us to live up to expectations like that. So,
I mean,
we've done that to Brisbane before, though, right? I mean, they're a team we've dominated at home before. I remember.
Well, we had a
Serge had a big game against them once.
Yeah, but we've had a horrible record against them.
Yeah,
especially at High Marsh. Like, our record in Brisbane's been, you know, in patches good and in patches bad. But at High Marsh, I barely ever remember knocking them off at High Marsh. They always used to find a way to do it to us, always. And I mean, I thought we were almost sublime on Saturday. We were fantastic. Like, our movement was brilliant. Like the forwards were fantastic. I mean, Kamau on the wing was doing obviously a fantastic job, not only for his goal, but just pumping that wing. And I mean, you know, Elsie at the back was doing a great job as well, and just
he's been good.
Yeah, he has. I mean,
to me, there that game on Saturday was one of the better games finishing wise the club have had in a long time.
I'd agree. I mean, yeah, Connie, did you see anything of the game you like?
You're making valid points there, but like you said, in seasons gone by, those two tap-in goals that Sanchez and Gito scored, you know, in seasons gone by, those haven't gone in for us, and it's good to see them going in now, and even in the past few weeks.
I think we're also getting that bit where we're getting a bit of luck our way. You know what I mean? Like we
make your own luck, and that's the difference. Yeah, but I see what you're saying.
I think it's the old saying, you keep buying the raffle ticket, eventually you win the raffle, you know what I mean? Like, as long as you keep creating chances, like...
That's what confidence does, though.
And raffle ticket...
Yeah, confidence.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Raffle ticket, where you going? This is a Red Army.
Meat trays?
Meat trays, all right? If I don't hear meat tray, we're cancelling this thing.
I think Bruce Dutte plays a big pivotal role, just even his attitude out there and his demeanour, because he's been more confident and had been more positive and happy, and you see that in the way he leads and just influences the rest of the team in the forward line there, and he's been a breath of fresh air for the last 5-6 weeks.
And after he got the monkey off his back with scoring those goals, he picked up a big workload after Babaj went down injured. You know, he's got to carry that front line on his own.
Well, I mean,
I think a lot of it made about like Bruce's lack of goals. I think everyone else made a big deal, but I don't think it weighed on his mind at all, which is strange. He's not there to score goals, you know. He's there to be the
batting ram,
the
center point, the target.
To be the Heskey. That's what he's there to be.
Yeah, well,
that's what I was. Like, if you actually watch his runs, he drags the defender off the ball, opens up for our wingers to come in, cut in and score. He's done that so many times, and people don't actually notice that in the game.
Yeah, I mean,
he does.
Not only that, usually Bruce maybe starts strong and then falls off. He's seemed to have done it a bit more the other way around now, like at least on the goal scoring side of things. I mean, his normal play on the field's normally been fine. I mean, I know people are always going to point to that goal scoring record, and if we have a proven striker and this and that. But I mean, Adelaide United's goals come from its midfield. You know, it comes from its wingers and its midfielders. So I mean, like I said, I thought it was fantastic. I mean, I thought it was a bit interesting for Brisbane. I mean, leaving Broish on the bench. I mean, can't say that would have been my. Can't say I would have contemplated. I would have done that if I was managed. I was the coach. But then again, I'm not John Aloisi. But I mean,
very surprised with that decision from John Aloisi. I mean, he justified himself in the post-match, but I think I turned around during the game at some stage and said, has he been on? Because without him in their team, they really lack a lot of drive forward, and when he come on, they actually put us under more pressure.
Well, I was going to say, once he came on, him and Petrados actually started to at least have some shots. I mean, because
a lot of off-target shots, but they had shots.
Yeah, I mean, they had plenty of the ball beforehand. I mean, like, they actually had 57% of the ball for the whole game. We only had 43, but like we did far more with our ball. Like, we also did a lot more work off the ball and a lot of movement. And just, yeah, I mean, there was just no... They
didn't really have a focal point all game.
No,
until
they
he
didn't.
came on.
No, until he came on, they didn't have a focal point.
No.
Kamau, obviously, with this clean finishing, you've noticed how he hasn't hesitated when he's had that opportunity. Sometimes I notice when players are going for the strike and they hesitate and they kind of try to touch the ball once or twice. But what I'm noticing with Kamau is that one touch and he's able just to make that clean decision. The game seems to be slowing down from a bit, so he's able to have more time. Something that's quite impressive. And does that change the shape or gives the other players confidence around him as well, I guess?
It does. I mean, not only that, I think the addition of... we're going to touch on this in a sec, but I think in depth a bit more, but the addition of Mauk has been fantastic. And
he's been sensational for us.
not only that, it's also it's loosened up Karuska a bit more. Karuska's starting to find a bit more form again, as opposed to, all right, he's had penalty miss here and there, whatever. But I mean, like, it took him a long time to find his stride this season, and
I think that's why he was getting dropped, which was unheard of. Like, in his time in Adelaide, he's never been dropped ever. I don't think.
Yeah, well, as we all know, sometimes you need to do that to send the lesson.
Right.
So, hey, I'm all for it. I think you pick players on form, not on names. So, you know what I mean?
Mm.
But, I mean, like I said, with this win, it's obviously left us second on the table, given other results that's happened throughout the week. We're 2 points behind Western Sydney.
A bit unlucky.
Well,
Top, actually.
massive weekend.
Yeah, well...
Well, next weekend.
We'll get to that in a sec too. And we're a point ahead of the Raw. And then obviously, then there's there's the rest. There's the two Melbourne teams and Sydney, and then I don't know. I think if anyone's coming in, it's probably going to be the Glory. And it's obviously between Victory and Sydney that will drop out the 6, if anything. I don't think the Jets, the Knicks, or the Central Coast will certainly not Central Coast. I think they're about done.
They're done.
They're done.
Like they've been on the deep. They've been in the deep fry since about round 2. But yeah, it's true.
Yeah, they've got it's a bit worrying Central Coast football at the moment.
Yeah, well, it's worrying for the league as a whole. Yes, but yeah. But
it's Western Sydney have got Brisbane this weekend, so that's going to be one to keep an eye on.
Is that you have to remind me? Is that up at West? Is that at Western Sydney or up in Brisbane?
It's a Brisbane Roar home game.
Well, can't John Aloisi. I won't hide it. I'm not going to exactly shed a tear if Western Sydney get knocked off.
It's very difficult to shed a tear.
Clearly.
Gosh, they're just arrogant, aren't they?
No, not yet. Let's not get onto that rant. Not yet. Let's not get onto that rant yet. Just a little. This is just going to be the Alaria rule. Alaria won't be talking about winning nothing until we've won it, because I've been through it too many times that I'd like to know the superstition comes back and.
Oh yeah.
Well, interesting. So I was just going to say, it was interesting. The coach of Perth. Sorry, his name escapes me right now, but
Kenny Lowe.
He was interviewed at the airport the other day, and the media's all pumping up how they're kind of on a 5-game kind of, I guess, not losing or a winning streak or something. And he just said, no, success is at the end of the year. And for many teams in all different sports, and in particular how Adelaide you go, the higher we get, I just think, man, we've got to, on that final day, we've got a grand final win. So look, we've had those good seasons, and we've had this, and we've had that. They're teasing.
Yes, it's the only thing we haven't had until we've had it. I don't want to know about it. That's just how I look at it.
I agree.
Question: touch wood.
Yes. So you're not.
We're better off losing a game before we go into finals. You reckon?
I don't believe in that, honestly.
No.
I honestly don't believe in it. So many teams have gone through undefeated winning stuff. Anyway, You look at Arsenal back in the Premier League days when it was hard to win anything.
Yeah.
And what they did, you know.
I'm not saying we should. I'm just asking for your.
Now, my question would be that I'd ask the question there is a draw still a loss, or even are you looking at the way we even play? We could win a game and still look ordinary.
I think it depends on who we draw to. If we do draw a game, you got to beat the teams above you and the ones below you. But I'd take a point. I'd take a point away to Western Sydney.
Well, Connie, it's a bit hard to beat too many teams above us. There's only one.
I was just going to say every team's below us now, and it's more pressure for the boys, I guess.
I feel if we're going to draw a game, if the performance is decent, it's fine. But if we played poorly and draw a game, well, then you're like, well, come on, we should be better than that.
Yeah.
But if we're playing well and we draw, there's not much else you can do. The other team's obviously up to the standard that they want to be at as well. Can't do much about that.
Indeed. Jason, you were going to say something before you were cut off?
I know it sounds cliche. You really just got to take it one game at a time. It's a funny old league. Anyone can beat anyone, really, apart from maybe Newcastle.
Who just won a game, but yeah.
They're on a good winning streak at the moment.
I've won.
They haven't lost for a while, have they?
Who's that? Central Coast or Newcastle? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. All I know is that the team that we're playing coming up this week are 9th, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that soon. So we're going to talk about a transfer made in the off season, in the mid-season transfer window, whatever you want to call it. January transfer window. Yeah, that's what you call it, of course. Which, to say that a lot of people at first weren't too happy with this decision.
Yeah.
I've seen Griffin out stuff and what's our owners doing and all that stuff and yada yada yada. The earth was falling in on itself. We sent Osama Malik to Melbourne City, and in return we received Stefan Mauk. How do you think that? How do we all think that's gone? We'll just go around. We'll start with KB. Go.
I think it's a lot better than David Williams.
Correct. You do realise that he's probably going to bury a winner against us now for that. But anyway, keep going.
Does he even play? He doesn't even play in the league.
That's right. That's right. He did bug it off. Never mind. Cancel my thought.
Mate, I'm he's slotted into the side seamlessly. Very rare that you just acclimatise so quickly to a team. And he's done so well,
especially mid-season as well.
Yeah,
almost an upgrade on Jago. I hate to say it.
In parts.
Yeah, in some aspect of his games, yes, and in other aspects of his games, no.
Yeah, I agree.
Jago holding the ball and at the back and defensively was far better than Mauk going forward. But going forward, not that Jago. I wasn't a Jago hater, so I certainly didn't think he was horrible or anything. But Mauk's the better attacker, definitely the better attacker.
Well,
definitely.
Jimmy would just go for that shot and just spray where Mauk ends up passing it, and winners or good plays come out of it. So it just seems like he has a bit more composure when he's in that kind of attack.
Indeed. Connie?
I think it's a very good inclusion for us because the way I saw it was Jimmy Jago was a hard worker box to box, but I didn't rate his ball disposal, whereas Stefan Mauk's come in. He may not be a box to box player, but I think going forward his last pass is always a good pass.
No, he does do. He does do one thing I really, really actually enjoy, and that's he puts a corner. And when he takes a corner, it passes the first fucking defensive man.
Second fuck.
On short corners right now.
Oh, don't get me started on swigging short corners.
Do you know what I'm loving as well at the moment is about we've got Stefan Mauk, who's a local, and Craig Goodwin, and it's good to see the passion coming out in a couple of these boys. And even from something against Sydney FC, I was up in the corporate boxes there, and
snob.
Just to see Stefan Mauk, I think it was his second game or his first home game. No, I'm not sure, but he put in an absolute crunching tackle, whereas in previous, you've seen tackles slide or little toe pokes, but it's good to see big crunching tackles.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I was going to say his timing in regards to the tackles is something I really it stood out for me.
Yep.
What do you think about the relationship between him and Kamal when they were playing as kids? There was a bit of an article in the news tonight about that, and they've just really gelled, and on and off field you can just see the chemistry between these guys is obviously showing on the ground.
Well, as
for City Brigade, we've got that one.
But I mean, obviously, no. That I mean, if you've played with your fellow teammates as juniors and youngsters, doesn't matter if you like or dislike or anything like that with each other. You know how each other plays. So
Exactly.
you make those connections, and you start anticipating where they're going to be and all that stuff a lot quicker, a lot smoother. You get those passes out, and that's how you start making things real happen. I mean, also speaking of that, before we brought in Mauk and let Jago go and brought Jacob Mells into the side and George Mells into the side and stuff like that. Mellis, what do you call it? A lot of people were saying that we didn't have enough South Aussies in our team, or we didn't have enough locals. Now, we have got, I think it's 6 to 7 in the squad now. Let me just check. We got Maroney is a South Aussie, McGowan's a South Aussie, Mauk's a South Aussie. Kamal, not Bruce.
Elsie.
Yeah, Elsie's right. Yeah.
Goodwin.
Is Goodwin from South Australia?
Yeah, Goodwin's Para Hills boy.
Para Hills.
I mean, I know he's only made the one. He's only made a couple of appearances, but Warland's a boy from Gawler. What do you call it? And not.
Well, there's something to be said about being home. There's something to be said about that it's a cliche, but mum's cooking type thing. So they've got their mates here. They're home here. I don't know. There's something to be said about that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think also. I mean, I'm all for a bit of a touch of the imports and all that, but I do like to see, as long as they're good enough, I do like to see some local boys coming through, and it's good to have that link.
Well, personally, guys, there's no. I'm trying to find the words here. There's no accident we're doing so well, and Craig Goodwin is such an important player for us. I'm just so impressed by him. His passion that I don't know. There's a guy in the AFL like Brendan Goddard type thing where you see the passion and he gets a bit frustrated with his teammates. Well, I don't want Goodwin's not a negative person like that, but he's got that ability just to, which is a good thing, is to almost grab a player by the scruff of the neck and just get him going on the ground. And he's exciting. There's something he really does bring something to that team.
I got your analogy, but don't ever bring up Brendan Goddard.
No.
I mean, and I'm the person that goes for that person's team. Don't bring it up.
I mean, Trent Gove in our side and Port Adelaide.
I know you mean. Anyway,
it's that.
The passion. I got it. I understand.
You can see that they can actually turn the game around. So when we've had games where we've struggled, and I've seen on the ground, United has had that ability just to flick the switch, is that term, and to change the momentum. And it's always, Goodwin is always involved in that, and that's in the last probably last 7 or 8 weeks. He's probably discovered how good his game is personally. He's probably just gone, wow. I don't know if it's a fitness thing that he's recovering better after every game, but he's able just to get to positions that he's not picked up and not done in the past. So he's impressive. I'm really impressed by him.
Okay. So we are moving on to a little comparison after 21 games played. First season under Josip Gumbau, and first season obviously under Amor. So obviously after 21 games at this point, Josip Gumbau had 30 points and Amor has 36. The team had scored 38 goals under Gumbau and 33 for Amor. Conceded 29 for Gumbau and 24 with Amor. Sorry, 33 goals scored for 24 for Amor. Had 1-8 with Gumbau, 1-10 with Amor. Both drawn 6, lost 7 with Gumbau, lost 5 with Amor. So
well, what a difference 10 weeks makes, though.
Yeah, well, yeah. With 13 weeks.
13 weeks. I mean, it was negative, wasn't it? It was just terrible. But Gumbau was the same, so...
Yeah, I know, but, I mean, even as we were saying, a lot of us were saying this at the start, under Gumbau, you could see what we were trying to do. You know what I mean? Like you could see him changing the wheel,
the Spanish style,
the style, and bringing that in. Under a more, it kind of looked like they were going aimlessly around.
It looked like a shit show, if you ask me.
Can I want to say something on that bit there. From what I saw the games, because I was just watching them when I was in it looked as if they more knew that we could score. It was more trying to focus on the defence aspect, knowing that we could concede too many goals at times. He got that, and now look at the last 13 weeks, where scoring goals for fun and defence.
Fair enough. KB,
the dude was just trying to work on that defence, get that defence right. Because the old cliche says, defence generally wins in matches. You win 1-0, you win.
Yeah.
You keep a solid defence, you will score.
Yeah. Jason, as you were about to say?
I was going. I agreed. Like, I think we even had a conversation at the beginning of the season. It didn't look like we had a game plan. It just looked like 11 lads having a kick about for the first time.
Yeah. Especially that game against Perth. Oh God, that game.
I mean, yeah, I was an 8 a.m. job. I watched that in London. Yeah, fucking. So, but like, whereas Gone Bale, you could see what we were trying to accomplish, and you knew it would come. And the supporters gave him almost his undying trust in him that it would come off, and it did pay off. Whereas Amor, he didn't have that. It was quite a lot.
I think also the fact that Amor kind of has, and I hate to I don't want to bring up too much EPL stuff or whatever, but Amor had kind of like the Van Gaal about him. He used to just sit there and or you know what I mean. Like he's not one for emotion and all that on the sideline and losing it in too much directions. He's kind of like, all right, I've set my team out, off it goes, go do what you want.
It's Amor's first head coach job. Whereas gone overseas and he'd executed his game plan successfully overseas. We didn't have that anymore to sort of hold on to.
Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, like I said, look, obviously Gone Bale was more of a people's man, if you know what I mean. Like, so like he was, fairly emotional and, and all that stuff. As Jason said, it's Moore's first coaching job. I mean, like he started to find his feet. You know what I mean? Like he's let things go. He's kind of building his. He's working his strategy to how to improve his philosophy. I mean, and he's only tweaked the side. He's tweaked it, but only tweaked it slightly to what Josip had. Like we're a bit more attacking up the wings now than we were under Josip, and.
I think the best thing is we're very versatile. Like,
yeah,
you wouldn't play the same tactic twice. Whereas Gone Bale is very set, and it was very.
We will play this way, and this is how it is. Yeah,
regimented almost. Whereas Amor is a bit more flexible.
Well, we're a more attacking side now, though. Really confident with the confidence that Elrich has as well with these guys. I mean, Malik, I was worried when we lost him because I just felt he was such a wall at the back there and brilliant, but maybe he was more of a defensive kind of mindset, maybe just having Elsie, which is I feel is, whilst very good defensively, he's a more attacking player. I don't know. That's how I feel. That's what we're seeing, a more attacking side. And now we're just getting used to each other and more confidence. Yeah, it's the guys are obviously now really having a real strong confidence going in every game with a genuine belief of winning confidently when we're seeing it in their results.
They've got a lot of freedom as well when they play. It's not a restricted sort of game plan. So it's good to see them go out there and individual players do what they do best instead of being restricted.
That's what I meant by sort of regimented. That's how it was. Like, you're in section A and you've got two options, this or this. And
robotic, yeah.
Yeah. And at this level, it's probably not a bad shout.
Can I bring up something with that in relation to the concerns of anyone at the moment? Have you got any concerns over the form of Kariska and also even Tarek, just even the last 3 or 4 weeks, just feeling like Sometimes the other players shining kind of takes the limelight off them or whatever. But yeah, just there's two players I wouldn't mind seeing kind of really have a good game against Wellington.
I think they're just both quietly going about their business.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good point.
I don't think Tarek's been playing that badly. To be honest with you, I think he's just more frustrated because everyone expects him to be, up. Because
everyone expects him to, circle 7 players and make the keeper and
score
a poster.
Yeah. Good point.
He's not playing badly. He's actually playing quite. It just seems as if he's getting frustrated himself because he's not able to do those runs anymore. Because everyone's obviously expecting him to do it. So
yeah, exactly. And I guess we are in a winning side, so it's not like it's a major drama. But if you're trying to find areas of improvement, and just maybe some of those touches. There's a couple of things where there was some missed opportunities, maybe for a bigger win again. But yeah, it is probably a high expectation thing now.
You know what I think has been a blessing for our team and for this person individually is Karuska when he started off slowly with injuries or whatnot he had and Amor played him off the bench. And that game where he came on against the Victory where we lost 2-1 away and he came on and really turned the game in our favour and that's actually where our season turned around just about.
Well, that was our last loss.
Yeah.
Is that 2-1 away loss up? At the Dome.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
Back in December, yeah.
What do you guys think on Sirio? Has he been a bit quiet for the standard he put up compared to last year?
In terms of goal scoring, yes, but I think he's in the middle enough, creating enough stuff, like letting Goodwin come in and like using Mauk and I think that's what it is. I think it's our younger players coming up. You know what I mean? Like I said, I think the Spanish trio in the middle just quietly been going about their business, just been doing
or maybe they're just a victim of other more plays from some of the other guys who are getting a bit more of a touch. So yeah,
I mean it's just a workload that's been shared. Really, that's probably why they haven't stood out because everyone else is putting in.
There's your answer.
It's a good thing long term because those guys that we're talking about are going to shine in the crunch time in the next month or two. So embarrassment of riches is a good thing.
What do they call it? Good, headache selection problems, but good ones.
Yeah.
Coach's nightmare.
Yeah. Okay.
See, I think I have one problem. Not problems as such. I think there's one concern that I sort of have going later into the year, and that's Genzic. We've got him over. I think we need to start playing him more. Because if we get some injuries going down, we're going to have to use him.
We are, but I think he's also his impact sub stuff. I mean, he might not be scoring or whatever, but he coming on and doing a job. I mean, you never know.
I understand that. I think he needs game time to settle in and everything else. He needs game time.
Well, maybe he might be nice and fresh when it comes time when we need him. I don't know. That's also kind of why I'm upset we're not in the Champions League, but I'm kind of happy because we kind of got that lovely. We don't have to.
Yeah, no interruptions.
No stress.
No interruptions. I wouldn't mind being in the Champions League doing well at that too, and going all there. But as I said, I just want to get. There's only one thing I want. And it's anything that's in my mind at the moment. Is there anything I want?
Toilet seat.
Yeah, it's all I want. And after that, then we can play in every single competition as many times as we want and whatever. Because as long as we have one, I'll be a happy man.
Just on Duganzic there, I actually went down after the game and saw the players, and he says he's not too concerned about not getting game time as long as the team's doing well. But in saying that, if he's called upon, what you're saying there, Twig, is he hasn't got the game time under his belt to be able to run out of 90 minutes if he has to.
Exactly.
Or maybe he'll play MPL. Oh, no, wait. I thought that's
For anyone that didn't catch what Jason just said, is maybe he could play NPL. Oh, wait, he can't, FFSA. Anyway, so let's look forward to the game we got coming up this week. And we're playing the Nooks on Saturday afternoon, 4:45 kickoff time in Adelaide. But the game's been played in Wellington, so do not go to Highmarsh to watch the game because you'll be looking at an empty stadium and won't even be getting in.
You might get to water the grass if you're lucky.
You might get to water the grass. Anyway, we have our record against them of the last 5 games isn't actually great. We've won 2. They've both been in Adelaide. The Knicks have won 2 over in Wellington, and they've won an away game against us. However, in our last 6 matches, we've won 5 and obviously drawn 1, and they've only won 1, and that was only last week, and they had lost 5 before that. So, I mean, also within this, we've kept 6 clean sheets in the last 11 games, and this will be Wellington's first. They're going for its second set of back-to-back wins all season, so they're not having a great time of it. I mean, they are 9th on the table with 22 points. Only about 4 points behind the Jets on 8th, and they're 10 points in front of Central Coast, but I don't really think that counts at the moment.
Just on Wellington, real quickly, I've actually just had a quick look at the results from previous 4 weeks. I mean, they've gone from losing to the Mariners at home 3-1 to beating Western Sydney at home, Western Sydney's home ground 5-2. And then you look at the next couple of games, they lose to Newcastle and then beat Melbourne City. So what this is telling me is that they're up for the big games, but they're not quite up for the lower ranked teams.
Yeah, sorry, that means that was a 1. Sorry, that was a 1-2 loss 4. Sorry, my bad for the loss. Sorry, I misread that. But I mean, obviously they're going to consider us a big game. I mean, obviously, you assume they're going to go. They're going to have obviously Moss and Sigmund and Durante and Bonavacci is going to be someone to look out for. McGlinchey in the middle, maybe Krishna up front. Maybe if they play, is the young kid power back? After his double against Newcastle, kicked the ball away, red card or whatever it was. I mean, no one's expecting to know that answer. We also have LaRocca is back from his. I guess you call it a suspension for nothing because apparently you can just knee players in the head in this league, so that's okay. I mean, as long as you play for Football Federation Australia Victory, you'll be all right.
Very interesting as well. Ben Sigmund started on the bench last game for Wellington. Any reason for that?
I have no idea. I know he's their vice captain, so I'm kind of shocked to hear that, but I don't know. And obviously, the Knicks are managed by old Adelaide arch nemesis, Mr. Merrick. So,
that's right.
So I mean, what do we think is going to happen for the Wellington game, Connie?
Well, like I said, looking at their previous results, they're up for the big game. So for me personally, my opinion is that this game is quite possibly the most dangerous out of our remaining games. And if we can get over the line this weekend, I think it'll give us obviously confidence coming back from Wellington. We've got 2 more home games, and it'll put us in a real good position if we can get 3 points this weekend.
Okay. Aaron?
I'm a little bit worried about this game. Obviously, Wellington, fair travel time for our boys. We get in, I believe it's 11 o'clock tomorrow night into Wellington. Mm-hmm. I'm just not sure on this. LaRocca, I personally would start over Mills, just as a bit more cover back there, but see how we go. And it'd be interesting to see what tactics Moore uses, whether it will be, a bit defensive like he was against Brisbane away a couple of weeks ago, or whether he actually goes out there and actually goes full attack at Wellington to see how they cope defensively. It's been interesting to see how he actually lines up and tactic-wise what he uses that way.
Okay. Matt?
Yeah, I'd be happy to share the points. So I think it would be a draw, maybe a 2-2 or something like that. Just don't want them to get away.
Hold the thought on the prediction. I'll be asking everyone their predictions in a second.
Sure. So
we can embarrass each other when we mark them all down. Don't worry, I got it.
No, I guess I'd be happy to take the points, and obviously too, but look at the fact that it's going to be a short turnaround for the game following Friday against City, and then I guess they're going to Sydney again. So look, share the points would be good.
Jason.
Yep, honestly, I think he'll go similar to the Brisbane game, like Aaron said. set up defensively and then to hit them on the break, which we couldn't quite do that.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I mean, like, I think we're going to sit and counter attack. I mean, although I don't know. I also have this sneaking feeling that I just have this sneaking feeling that, you know, if once he looks at the lineup and see how they line up, he might, you know, roll the dice and just get us to go out there and slaughter them. Really, but
have fun. Yeah,
yeah. But
it's going to be a big contrast from when we played them in Wellington.
Yeah, they turned
4-2 loss.
Yeah, they turned us over. Yeah,
yeah, but we were a different side then. How much do you reckon the confidence of the team at the moment will contribute to potential win?
Oh, that always helps. Like confidence breeds confidence. You know what I mean? Like winning mentality breeds winning mentality. So I mean, that's when like you find champion teams or teams that do well. They even when they have off days, those are the kind of games they go out there and they nick a result, they grind a result out. You know, they get like we did against Central Coast. I mean, you know, we struggled so hard with that. You know what I mean? But we got out of there.
I'm not getting surprised by what we're doing now. Whereas, you know, just going back 5-6 weeks ago, it was, you know, just a pleasant surprise. But now it's starting to become a good normal thing of just, grind it out, get that win. Your expectation in the next 20 minutes, we are definitely going to get one back of the net, and we do it. And it's just like really the confidence that we're having in the side. You can see that because you can see the boys are all confident on the park.
I'm a firm believer of, you know, good teams will find a way to win, and we are a good team. Yeah. So we should find a way to win. You know, football's a funny game, so anything can happen on the day.
Yes,
indeed it is. All right, we'll get some score predictions. Aaron,
1-1.
1-1. Jason,
2-1 to Adelaide.
2-1 to the Reds. Kimetsis.
You know what? I'm actually struggling to pick a winner in this game, but I think the scoreline will be 2-1, but I'm not sure which way. I'm sitting on the fence.
2-1.
It's a very sharp fence. I want to get off of it.
Just on the arse.
Yeah, 2-1 question mark. Matt.
I'll go 2-2. All right.
2-2. Alario. You know what? 3-1 to Adelaide.
Yes! Sounds good.
And
can I just mention the last time we did play Wellington that, I mean, we may have won 3-0, but it wasn't until they had a player sent off we scored all three of our goals, which goes to the point of this being a very dangerous game because we need the momentum in our favour, but as soon as they get it, they're the sort of team that can actually score 3 goals themselves. So,
indeed. I mean, personally, I think it's going to be like 1-1, or it's going to be like maybe 1-0, 2-0, then 2-1. They're going to chase and leave the gap, and that's when we're just going to go down. And
no. We go away with a positive kind of winning kind of draw because it's 2-1 for a long time, and we sneak away and take the draw by winning. We're getting the last back of the net with just like in the last couple of minutes, and so it feels like a win even though it was a draw. That's my prediction.
Okay.
All I can say is I just hope they get the job done for Steve because he travels every week, and it actually hurts me as much as it probably hurts him to see them put up bad performances when he's
going to Wellington as well.
Steve goes to every home and every away game. For anyone that doesn't know him, which I mean, you should, but it's the man in the red suit with the red wig. So we all know who Steve is. I mean, he's
pretty much every A-League fan knows who he is now. I think.
Yeah, I know Steve.
Well, I know there's a ton of the guys I know here in Melbourne. They're all like,
does he wear glasses? Is that right?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. I know him. I've seen him before. Saw him at Port Adelaide.
Yeah, you would have.
Good man.
Anyway, so we're now just going to quickly touch on the youth team. So the NPL game over the weekend for Adelaide United, obviously, was against Blue Eagles. O'Doherty scored a double and they won 2-0. So, was anyone at that game?
Yeah, I was there.
Give us a little breakdown.
So, I mean, Blue Eagles hammered us. 10 minutes in, we're all standing there thinking, it's going to be a long day. To Adelaide's credit, and we had obviously they had John Hall in goal, and he made a few good saves, and we slowly started coming into the game and was settling in. O'Doherty was very impressive, like just his movement, and you can take a player on. Ruan Tongic at the back was a monster, to be honest. He's going to have a big season, I think.
He's going to be a superstar, that kid.
I think so, yeah.
Way to put the mockers on him, guys.
I think you've got the right mentality as well. Obviously, we got that goal, and our confidence grew. And it was pretty good to see. Puddler missed the penalty, unfortunately. But we've done well.
I'm just curious, Jason. I actually saw the video which was put up on Facebook of the 2 goals. It looked like Blue Eagles were very slow to react to what Adelaide was doing in attack. But what were they like in their own attackive plays?
Oh, look, on another day, like they're definitely creating chances. Like, don't get me wrong, they missed a few sitters. So, like, the scoreline doesn't really tell the whole story, unfortunately. But look, it was a fortunate win, to put it that way.
Okay, and the youth team have this week, which I had, and now what's gone?
I think it's Burks, isn't it?
Who is it?
Yeah, with Bacala on Sunday.
Bacala on the Sunday. At Bacala, I'm assuming, or
Yes.
Yeah.
Get down there, people, if you've if you've got time. I guess that's us about done. So, I mean, thank everyone for joining us. I mean, the Reds. Oh yeah, one little thing. The Reds obviously are on a 13-game unbeaten streak, which is we've equalled our longest one. So a draw or a win against Wellington, and we extend it. And then we're only 12 behind Brisbane's 36. Yeah, well, they won a few titles while doing it. So, if we do the same, I won't complain. How does that sound?
Exactly.
I don't think you'd have any complaints in South Australia at all.
No way.
Connie, we've all lived in Adelaide long enough. We've all lived in Adelaide long enough to know even when we win, people still find something to complain about. Anyway, so thank everyone else for joining us. Say bye, Connie.
Okay,
Bye,
guys.
Connie.
Say bye. Say bye, Jason.
Bye.
Say bye, Matt.
Ciao. Catch us later. See you next week.
Say yes or there.
Yeah, I saw that.
And say everyone, thanks for joining us, and come on the Reds.
Go Reds.
Dixie.
United.